Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Camarda, right here, right now, in the present home now. The topic of today is super interesting. I'm going to talk about the learning process. All this process that we constantly, continuously doing it, and how we approach with your mindset every time we're trying to do something. It's a learning process. It's a thing that we do to learn how to do better day by day. So, how if you knowledge and accept this concept about the learning process, you will notice yourself in a different way. You will notice that something's different, and everything that happened can kind of kind of more going more smooth than should be. Every problem that you can go and embrace it in a normal life could be a chance to test all your learning process skills. So be aware how the learning process can completely change your life, and that's why we're talking about today. Because yesterday I went for indoor skating in Minnesota. There's a roller garden, it's called, and it's closing after so many years that open, almost 60 years, 700 years open. It's closing, do other things, and we were missing this place. It was a historical place for roller skating, so we went last night, and I never skates in my life. I've been all entire life twice, one on ice, one on roller skating. So that's all my kind of experience on roller skating. But when I went there, I see others people how they do it, and was my wife was kind of he went through a lot of teaching and learning process about skating because she loved that. So I was observing her. I was getting some information from her. I was watching other people, and the first time I went through there, just right on the balance, I was feeling myself so good on that. I started enjoying it. That's how you apply the learning process theory concept more than theory that can help you to embrace all those challenges in life. That whatever it is, could be skating, could be a new sport, could be problems to resolve, it could be everything, could be a new relationship. It's a more like a lifestyle, like a idea of a concept of a different mindset you can approach. So the learning process, every time we do something, there's all those electric system, almost those wiring body that we have, that is constantly sent electric impulse back and forward to your brain, to your skin, to your eyes. It's all electric system inside ourselves that it's constantly bombarding electricity. It's insane how it's amazing, all the system. And every time we think we do something in our brain, we create those connection, and every time, more time we do, those connection become stronger, become thicker, become more alive. So more we do things, more this connection can grow. So how you master things, why people are better in sports than others, or in public speaking, or in teaching, or whatever it is, because they learn, they do one time, they do wrong, do it again, until day by day they start to master it, they start to be really good in that. So the learning process is a path, it's a journey that never ends. That's why it's important to embrace. And I have been really lucky, and every time I met a person, or a job, or whatever I'm doing, I always spend with people that totally understand those learning process theory. I've been My last job was a mechanic, and I never had the mechanic skills, and I have always really handy. I love to put my hands on, but I never been really take a motor apart. So learning that with fails, with failures, with mistakes. That's the best way to learn. So, at that time, I had a boss that completely understood this, because he started to realize that he was doing that for more than 40 years in his life. So, all those really simple mistakes doesn't exist anymore, because those connection in your brain was really solid. And me, with no totally experience, with my connection, visualize those connection, my brain was so thin that every time I was doing it, I was doing wrong. But every time I was doing wrong, I was understanding what I was missing. And more I was doing day by day, month by month, I was building those connections, and my brain was become more aware and more looking for the right path to do things, because in all those networking of connection that we have in our brain, our system, it's important to know which one you gotta do. What's the movement you gotta do right now to be perfect fit for anything you're doing. Think about more of sports. That's maybe it's easier way to think. When I'm catching a football on the right hands, it's the movement you gotta do. It's a precisely moving to catch the ball in the right time and go score or go touchdown, for example. So how you build those connections, how when you see the ball, how far you gotta go ahead to the next player, how many people are in there, all those things that are going on in few milliseconds in your brain and more. It's part of the learning process, and this can help you with everything you do. So the key is to understand this concept and not be frustrated, but be excited about every time you make a mistake, because it's the learning process, path, journey that you're doing it. So every time you do something wrong, let's say this, and somebody maybe is yelling at you about that, you gotta understand there's another positive side of that thing, because usually being yelled, it's not super good to experience. You feel frustrated, you feel guilty, but it's kind of helpful for you. Try to understand that it's the learning process, and try to communicate to others. If you have somebody that it's always not good with you about whatever you're doing, explain those concepts about the learning process, because it can help him to understand, or she, or help them to understand what's going on with how you see the things that you're doing. It's really, really important to understand the learning process. And there's a lot of ways to learn fast. A lot of people love learn fast, and depends how your brain, everything depends on your brain. Of course, there's a small percentage of your body reaction, because your body is doing the movement, but most of the time it's about here. So getting in a mindset to learn, it's the first step. Realize that you need time. Whatever it takes in the right moment to learn things, that depends on you. It depends how your brain develops. Another thing is the nutrition of your body. What kind of nutrition given to your body that can help you to learn fast, to learn quick, to build those connections quicker and thicker and easier. So really important to understand the learning process. Realize how you can learn fast. So first of all, take your time in whatever you do, whatever mistake you're doing because of the learning process. From Camarda, this evening, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.